Now I bet like most of us, you found stunning inspiration from dishes seen on Instagram, or that incredible meal you had at a fellow chef's restaurant. Now that spark of inspiration is powerful, but how do you harness it without copying what somebody else has done? Welcome to the third in my video series all about idea generation in plate design. We've already covered simple techniques and the design sprint framework to help elevate your food's visual appeal. Now if you've watched either of those, I'd really love to know what you thought and if you found it helpful, so please let me know in the comments below. This time, I'm really excited to introduce to you the concept of reverse engineering. It's another framework you might have come across before, but maybe not in this delicious context. Think of it as breaking down why those dishes work so well, dissecting plating techniques, colour combinations, and those unexpected flourishes, all so you can adapt them to your own unique spin. It's about learning from amazing chefs, then remixing those elements to create something entirely new. You can imagine reverse engineering as culinary detective work. Typically, this concept has been used by engineers taking apart products to see how they tick. But what if we applied the same meticulous analysis to a stunning plate of food? Chefs can become experts in deciphering the dishes of their culinary idols. By carefully studying the work of experienced visual chefs, whether in a Michelin-starred restaurant or in a beautifully composed cookbook photo, they can break down the elements of beautiful plating. It's all about understanding not just the ingredients, but the choices that shape their presentation. This has incredible benefits. For example, I love street photography, so I spend an awful lot of my time poring over imagery of some of my heroes, trying to deconstruct my favourite images. It's not just a copy, but to learn the lighting techniques, the thought process, and the guiding principle behind these amazing images. This is the same for chefs, providing a fantastic way to expand your toolkit of plating tricks. How did the chef achieve a perfectly balanced composition, or create such a surprising combination of textures or colour? Reverse engineering is about discovering those secrets, adapting them and making them your own. Best of all, understanding how successful dishes work can fuel a chef's imagination. It's that spark that ignites new ideas. Reverse engineering offers a powerful springboard, allowing chefs to take those concepts and build something completely unique, putting their own signature on an inspired plate. It may sound super simple to say, right, I love what this chef has done, let's reverse engineer it. But as we've already discovered in this series, things are rarely as simple as they seem. This is why, just like with the design sprint, I'm trying to provide a framework to help give tangible steps to achieve it. So how on earth do we go about reverse engineering a plate of food? For me, reverse engineering holds a great potential for the culinary world. By delving into the artistry of plating, chefs can gain the skills and inspiration to elevate their work. It's an invitation to look at food presentation, not just through the eyes of an artist, but through those of a curious, analytical student. And with that mindset, delicious innovation awaits. But again, how do we actually do this? While the creative possibilities are endless, there's a structured process to help you break down the beauty of a dish and incorporate those lessons into your own work. Here's a step-by-step approach to becoming a student of reverse engineering. It's very easy to fall in the trap of just seeing a beautiful plate as a whole and thinking, I could never do that. Reverse engineering is about changing your perspective. Instead of being a passive admirer, it's time to be positive, take control, and choose to improve your plating. To fuel your observational powers, make a point to seek out as many forms of inspiration as possible. The simple process of dining out, whether in a trendy new spot or even a street food stand, exposes you to different plating styles. I know it's hard when food looks amazing, but take the time to analyse how the food looks before you dig in. Cookbooks, especially those focused on artistic presentation, are a fantastic resource. You can study them at your own pace, really scrutinising the details. Social media platforms like Instagram and Pinterest are a treasure trove of visual food inspiration. Follow chefs, restaurants, food photographers to get a steady stream of ideas. With all that delicious exploration done, it's time to focus. Take some time before you even touch your fork when presented with a new dish. Look at it like a puzzle you're trying to solve. Start by analysing, not just admiring. Pay attention to how the different parts of the dish are placed. Is the arrangement symmetrical or purposefully messy? Does it flow around the plate in a particular way? Next, focus on the negative space, the empty area on the plate. Great chefs use this with the same care as the food itself. Does a lot of empty space make the food look more dramatic? Consider height as well. Are there elements that rise up, adding dimension, excitement to the presentation? Finally, look for focal points. Is there one component that instantly grabs your attention? Why is that? Is it because of the colour, the shape, or the placement? Now, a quick tip. Try taking a photo of the dish. Sometimes studying a photo allows you to notice details your brain might have missed when focused on eating. You can even sketch out the major elements to help you visualise the placement. Now that you've observed the dish as a whole, it's time to zoom in on the individual components. Think of yourself as a visual scientist, dissecting each element to understand its role in the overall presentation. You've got to try and deconstruct the details, but how? Well, here's some ideas for how to start looking at a dish, or questions you can ask to get yourself analysing like a true culinary scientist. Are the ingredients cut into classic shapes, cubes, rounds, etc., or more abstract forms? Do the shapes repeat across the plate, creating a sense of rhythm, or are they contrasting, adding a sense of playful tension? These aren't just about flavour. Are garnishes delicate and elegant, or bold and chunky? Is the sauce drizzled artfully, swirled, or strategically pooled? Notice how they add visual interest. Are there contrasts between smooth and crunchy, soft and crisp? Texture on the plate provides another dimension for your eye and your palate to appreciate. Pay attention to the interplay of colours. Are they vibrant and contrasting, monochromatic for a sophisticated feel? Do they evoke a particular mood or even tell a mini story? As you analyse each element, keep those earlier observations about the overall arrangement in mind. How does each little detail contribute to the overall picture? Okay, now that you have a strong grasp of how to analyse a dish, it's time to start applying these skills. So if you want a handy tool to keep track of each key element when you start your reverse engineering practice, download my free Plate Like a Pro checklist. It'll guide you through important things to look for, ensuring you don't miss any detail that can spark new ideas about your own dishes. So the details are below, next to the subscribe and the like button. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. By now, you've broken down the dish into elements. But to truly grasp reverse engineering, you need to move beyond the what and uncover the why. It's time to slip into the chef's mind and try and understand the intention behind each design choice. Why were the ingredients cut that way? Does a jagged, rustic chop create a feeling of home-style comfort compared to the precise cubes suggested in modern elegance? Do the shapes complement the type of food? Perhaps long, elegant cuts for fish or hearty chunks for a stew? A sauce isn't just about flavour enhancement. Does its thickness and the way it's placed create movement? Does its colour add depth or vibrant contrast to the rest of the dish? Is there a contrast between creamy and crunchy, perhaps adding a playful element of surprise? Or is a single texture used throughout for a sense of understated luxury? Could that lack of textural contrast be a way to focus attention on a particular shape or colour? Does the colour feel warm and inviting, or cool and sophisticated? Do the colours directly relate to the ingredients, or are they used in a more unexpected way to create a sense of whimsy or sophistication? The key is to develop a habit of asking yourself why each element is placed in the way it was. Using this analytical approach could lead you to some fascinating insights, but there's even more to discover. Sometimes the secret of a dish's presentation lies beyond the plate itself. Understanding the context, the culinary tradition, the chef's approach, or even the restaurant's ambience can unlock a whole new level of appreciation. Do some research. Is the dish based on a classic form of a particular region, or does it draw influences from multiple cuisines? Learning about its origins can explain the shape of a dumpling, the use of certain colours, or the overall style of the plating. Does the chef have a recognisable style? Perhaps they favour minimalism, focusing on a few perfectly executed elements. Or maybe their plates are known for their vibrant colours and unexpected textures. Understanding the overarching philosophy helps explain individual choices and how you could use them in yours. Is the setting formal or refined, relaxed or playful? The plating often reflects the mood a restaurant aims to create. A dish at a trendy tapas bar might look very different from one at a traditional French bistro. Then we have some key questions to consider. Does the dish reflect a reimagining of a classic, or is it a wholly original creation? Are there elements that pay homage to a specific culinary tradition? Does the presentation align with the chef's overall philosophy? How does the plating contribute to the dining experience the restaurant is seeking to provide? With this added perspective, you're ready for the final and perhaps most exciting part of reverse engineering, applying those insights to your own stunning creations. Insights can be tricky, especially on your own, so why not join our private Facebook group? It's a community of passionate chefs and platists just like you, sharing their plating ideas, getting feedback on their creations, and supporting each other's visual journey. You can find the details below next to the plating checklist I mentioned earlier. Hopefully reverse engineering has armed you with a wealth of knowledge and inspiration. Now it's time to resist the temptation to simply copy what you've seen and channel that understanding into your own plating style. Take away a technique you've learned, maybe a way of cutting a vegetable, a clever use of sauce, or a textural contrast, and apply it to an entirely different dish of your own creation. Similarly, if a dish used a colour in a way that resonated with you, don't try and replicate it exactly. Instead, use it as an inspiration to create a vibrant colour palette for one of your existing recipes. Let interesting shapes spark your creativity rather than guiding you towards a direct replica. Above all, Remember that the goal of beautiful plating is to express your own visual voice. The flavours of your dish should be only the starting point, with your plating telling its own story in a visual way. It's about evolution, not imitation. The true magic of reverse engineering is that it will help you evolve as a chef. It expands your visual vocabulary and deepens your understanding of how food can engage the eye as well as the taste buds. Don't be afraid to experiment, play and surprise yourself with exciting new plates you'll create. I think reverse engineering holds great potential for chefs, cooks and creators alike, but it will take a shift in mindset. Instead of just admiring beautiful plates, you now have the tools to dissect them, to learn from the best and to discover your own hidden talents for plating. Yes, it takes practice and a playful spirit, but the rewards are delicious in every sense of the word. The goal is not to become a copycat, but to let reverse engineering ignite your own originality. So keep your eyes open wide, keep seeking inspiration, and keep pushing the boundaries of your own culinary creativity. You might just surprise yourself with how much beauty you can put on the plate. And speaking of surprises, if you found this exploration of reverse engineering inspiring, don't miss the other videos in this series on idea generation in plate design, which I've linked to here. Whether you need a quick creativity boost or a deep dive into a design sprint framework, there's something for every chef looking to take their presentation to the next level. Just check out the playlist here and watch them all. Thanks again for watching, and keep telling dining fables worth sharing.